And we are live. Guys, Scotty Mortimer here with the Tribe of Freedom podcast. I'm excited that you're here. Today's conversation is with Joseph Brown.
What's up, man?
What's up? Dude, I'm so excited that you're here in the studio.
Cheers, bro.
This has been synchronistic, us coming together.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So I saw you playing beautiful music
Thank you.
down at the local farmers market before the COVID thing happened, so months and months ago.
Yeah.
And I was vibing to your music so much. And I just loved it. And at the end, I came out, I was like, man, that's beautiful music. Thank you so much. And then didn't see you. And then all of a sudden, I'm out the front of my office here last week, and you're getting out of the car with your family. Hey, bro, how you doing? Music, man. Like, hey, I remember you from the markets. And then I see you in the markets again, then 2 days later.
Yeah.
Then 2 days later again. And then all of a sudden, we're chatting, being like, and the permacare connection. It's just like we're meant to come together.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to dive into who you are, what you're about, what you're doing with your music, but I want to talk community with you as well.
Sure.
Because I know you're a big, you're bringing people together.
Yeah.
We sort of channel in the same vision here. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to dive in.
Nice.
So tell us a little bit about your background, what you're doing, and then let's play.
Well, music, I've had my my whole life's been full of controversy, like not so much controversy, but it's just been a lot of like survival.
Yeah.
And then music was this place of where I finally found, I guess, a sense of peace in my life.
Where are you from originally?
New Zealand, a place called Wairau. So
Maori background?
yeah,
Okay.
Māori background, and coming out of the dark ages in New Zealand, there was just heaps of crazy domestic violence and all sorts of stuff happening, back in but just before I came. So I was like the second generation out of this trauma, this generational trauma. So music just became my healing and my medicine and my, one of my saviors, I guess. And it just speaks to me. And then I just realized I've got a story. I want to share it to people as well. And then I realized, I've come out of this with I feel a good character, a good personality. I've got integrity and all these things. And I'm like, maybe I can share my story to someone. Maybe someone else can be inspired from it. So music's been my everything for sure.
So you're a professional musician, you were saying, for the last 5 years.
5 years.
That feeds your wife and two beautiful children.
2 children, all on music.
All on music. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
What I felt from you, like you say about being a man of character and integrity and everything, when I heard you play and I felt your music, and I've been around a lot of music. Yeah. I actually just had lunch with Claire Catoni, Cece the Cat, my ex-partner and a dear friend of mine, professional musician, like albums, all the stuff. So I've been around a lot of music.
Yeah.
When I felt your music, it touched me. It was like special, man. The energy that you bring in, the vibe that you bring was really beautiful. So I'm really grateful that we're in this sort of relationship and coming together.
Yeah.
Because music brings the people together.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got so much like attributes. It brings people together. There's been times, I'd love to get into details about some of the experience I've had.
Yeah.
People just, it's not only that it brings people together, it shatters boundaries.
Yeah.
And it brings people's walls down.
Totally.
Which, this is the power of music for both good and evil. People underestimate. Music brings their walls down. It happens to children. Their head gets filled up with crazy shit.
You mean in the mainstream media manipulation?
Just in everything, and you can hear kids walking past singing songs they think about one thing, and then you're like, that kid just sing that. You pick up on shit.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
To give you a little tiny, and we can get into detail about it. Here's a little
Go
one.
on, and then let's play some music. Yeah.
Venga Boys.
Venga Boys,
Boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room. Like it's, but
true.
we're singing this as children.
True.
So like we don't realize the power of subliminal, and this isn't a conspiracy. This is just like, if you look at it as what it is, music has that. It brings your, it's in your ears. You're on the bus on the way home.
The universe is music, man.
It is, man.
Like, it really is music. In all the ayahuasca ceremonies, it's all like all the music is like, in the beginning there was the word, and the word was God.
Yeah.
Like, it's a sound.
It's,
the universe. It's
look at universe.
one
just the word,
verse, the
one
music.
verse.
Exactly.
Verse it's only used as a musical term.
That's right.
It's not used as any other term. You don't use verse. Only 2 times you use verse is musically and biblically, which tells you maybe the Bible is a songbook, and it's the Psalms and it's crazy, man. So music's it's an underestimated weapon.
Yes.
That I realized the power of it, and that's why I picked up the weapon, because I'm like, this is the power.
Right. Look what Bob Marley did with music. Look what John Lennon did with music.
That's it.
Right.
And, you know, all these artists, they were born out of chaos, you know. Rage Against Machine, they blew up because of the chaos, you know. And
remember singing them when you were young?
Yeah, man. You know, and it was just that anger in there.
Yeah, totally.
So, yeah, music, man, it's the greatest weapon. We've definitely one of the greatest weapons, besides from just having these conversations. I use it as my weapon.
Can you play us a little bit? Yeah. So, guys, Joseph's going to set up, going to grab his guitar, and let's play some music. We've not done this before. And if you guys are catching us live out on Facebook land, we're live on Facebook right now. I'm going to do some story stuff here too. This is a first on the podcast, and we're excited to be diving in. But tag some people that you love. Share this with some people you love. And Joseph.
I'm going to share the song. It's a new one. I actually only wrote a couple of days ago, so it's going to be full of probably a few mistakes and whatnot. It's going to sound a bit raw. But I wrote this because as we come together today to have this conversation, I realised some of these lyrics, they just, you know, I feel like I'm going to share this. So let's get this right. It's a half-written song. But there's lyrics in here I want you to just hear. With everything that's happening in our world has me concerned. We're slowly getting trapped in, and no one's taking a second turn. Just watch it burn down. Need to stop them turning down. Ooh, they keep on pushing us closer to the edge, yeah. But something helps me change my frame of mind. I call it music. So what if they exchange our state of life and we get through this? Instead of just surviving, making it through the night, we can begin thriving. Swim me through this vibe and share some knowledge on all those problems. But first we gotta speak. First we gotta speak. First time singing this, so probably picked up on a few things.
Oh man, it's beautiful.
But I'll sing one of my veteran songs after.
Oh well, we're enjoying this one right now.
Yeah. I know there's been so much that's been happening in this world, but I feel like we can do this all for them boys and girls. It's all about the next generation. We need to share this education, and we can manifest, because we know what's for the best of this world when it comes from the heart. You can see it's not so hard, as long as we keep pushing to the end. Make a friend, yes. But something helps me change my frame of mind. I call it music. So why don't we exchange our state of life and we get through this? Instead of just surviving, making it through the week, we can begin thriving. First we gotta speak and share some knowledge on all those problems that's standing in our way. That's standing in our way. They're standing in our way. Cheers.
Oh, dude. I can't see the Facebook comments right now, but I bet they're just blowing up.
Oh, man.
Thank you so much.
The freshie, I don't usually sing freshies, but...
Well, you got courage. You got courage.
Yeah, and, you know, I love sharing the raw side, and the growth of it.
Totally, man.
You know, I'm just not all about the end product and the polish. I think that's, just on that note, I think that's one of the problems that I see is this thing called perfection.
Totally.
Where we compromise our joy on the search for perfection, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like
and we hold ourselves back from just being ourselves until we hit that bullshit thing in our mind about being perfect. And when it's perfect, then I'll step up, then I'll speak, then I'll share.
Yeah, that's it.
The rawness, and it's more nowadays, It's really nice, just people being authentic and raw.
With all the mistakes.
With all the mistakes, with all the blemishes. Less makeup,
yeah, that's
more
it,
natural.
Man. That's it.
Totally all about that. Dude, one of those lyrics you're talking about, and you'll know the lyric better than me because you just sung it and you wrote it. It's about the next generation and it's about sharing this education.
Yeah.
And, you know, speak, you know, we got to speak that, like, that's what you and I are doing right now.
Yeah.
But because you got the little kids as well, and I got the little kids, a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Man, I just want to dive into this conversation about where are we going, bro? Like, we got to do this together.
Yeah, man. Like, it's been, you know, obviously the COVID thing, such an interesting thing. 101 conspiracies, 101 uncertainties. Yeah. But you know what it made me realize? It made me realize that our priorities were always wrong. And COVID helped me even to understand. You know, I've been, you know, with family, you got your job as, I guess, as a man and as a male, as a father, is to provide, protect, and all of these things. You're creating the safe space. And you wonder how much generations it took to make people think that money is the safe space.
Interesting.
And the first thing that I learned, the COVID thing, you know, I'm a musician, man, so I lost it all. Yeah. You know what I mean? I lost thousands and thousands of dollars, and you know, I'm like shit, freaking out. You know, because I'm like, what are we gonna do?
How am I gonna feed my family?
All of that stuff, man.
Yeah.
So I think the first thing is just to get our priorities straight. That money, it's the second, third, fourth thing. You know what I mean? It's, you know, I just had a baby, and just the time I've been able to spend with my family, and oh man, I don't know how deep we can get into this.
Deep, bro. We got as long as it's going to take for us to do everything we need to do today. Let's go, man. Wherever we want to take this, this is ours. Even if nobody even watches this, listen to this is about you and I having a man-to-man conversation about, like, what is life? And there's people there I know that would be diving into this with us.
Nice. Well, man, you know, it's been such an interesting time that I've had to, you know, I've been meditating a lot about what's going on, about priorities, about what matters and what doesn't matter. Yeah. And like I said, you know, we're talking thousands of years this has taken to get to this point. We're talking empires, Caesar, the fallen empires, they never fell. They just fell for a little bit, but there's lessons they've brought there, and you wonder, like, this is a perfectly created system, and this is that thing of perfect. Is they've got it mapped out in such a way that people will take their lives just because they don't feel satisfied with how they're living in this world.
You're talking about suicide?
Suicide, you know, like, that's so much
huge
crap, man. Like, and you know, people just, oh man. I've got so much things to say, so we'll try and break it down.
Yeah, it's good, bro.
There's like so much shit. It's all intertwined.
I like what you're saying about getting our priorities straight. So from me, man, 2-year-old son, you know, the provider, my wife doesn't work. Yeah. I take care of us. I do all right on the internet, you know, like in the last few years I've fed my family by serving people online, teaching leadership and marketing and sales, and I'm really good at that. I'm a great teacher. I'm a very good marketer. I've done sales for 20 years. Yep. I love all that. I only sell things that matter, make a difference, right? And I'm really good at helping people do that too. But if you have a look at the way the internet is now, massive censorship. You're playing with Facebook land or YouTube land, and you can say only what they allow you to say. I know that these guys who run this are part of the whole people are looking to control us, you know. The people, the whatever, you can't say those words because they'll censor you, but they're part of the thing that's trying to hurt us. And I'm like, man, it's just out of integrity for me to feed energy into this thing that's being used to censor the truth. And I'm like, and it's that money game. It's exactly what you said. It was just a big sigh when you said that. Is like, when did we get, when did we think that money was security?
Yeah.
Right? It's a brainwashing, man, to think
It's massive, man.
money's security. And the first thing I said is, okay, if you look at the hierarchy of needs, I need air, plenty of that, no dramas. Water, falls from the sky, I can collect it in a bucket if I need to, no dramas. Food.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, food grows from the ground, but it ain't that easy.
Man, on that note of that conversation that drives me nuts.
What's that one?
I've seen a lot of friends and they say we're going to run out of food. And I'm like, how?
How do you run out of something that falls from trees?
I'm like, in a capitalist world, we'll run out of food, of course, because there's 8 billion people. We all need to eat, and it's not going to quench the thirst of capitalism, and it shouldn't. Things like they are human rights. And, I said to some people, I'm like, if you took every fruit and veg off every Woolworths and Coles and Aldi's and any shop, every single shop that sold fruit and veg, and took them off the shelf and put them in the communities, like there'd be so much shit for everyone.
That's exactly what it is. Because food's become a commodity.
Yeah.
It's being traded for profit. It's one of the essential parts of being a human being. And it's now controlled by multinational corporations whose number one priority is profit. And it's been taken out of our backyards. Look at the traditional people, mate. There was a relationship with food. There was a relationship with nature. Now we're all head up in the cloud thinking about going to friggin' Mars or whatever and forgetting about who we really are.
Man, and not only that, we're losing our relationship with what we have. The suicide thing for me is close to my heart because same. I've lost a lot of friends
from suicide.
Wow. I've had attempts myself when I was younger, years ago now. Dude. So I'm okay to talk about it. There's a funny story in the end.
Did I see cuts on your arm?
Yeah, look, I've been through shit, man.
Right? Well, we've all got a past, dude. I got 16 criminal convictions, bro. Nobody fucking knows that. I hurt a lot of people when I was younger.
Yeah.
That was my pain. I was in pain. I inflicted pain.
Yeah.
You were in pain. You inflicted self-pain. Probably other people too.
Yeah, man, that's craziness.
We've all been there, right?
But we evolve.
But that helps us from pain to swing into love.
It does.
We need it. It's not a bad aspect of who we are. It's an essential part of our journey. I hope it's not part of our children's journey. The buck stops with me. That's what we got to do now.
That's very true.
We got broad shoulders. We can carry the pain of our ancestors, but it doesn't have to go into these indigo children, these little angels that are being born. We make it end here. The pain ends here, sort of thing.
I'm so glad you said that, man, because that's what's, I'm not going to hand things on to my kids, and I'll to my last
not
breath.
Not that. Yeah.
To my last breath, man.
Exactly.
And I know the thing that's been running through my head is every day we don't do something is a day they do something. Yeah. And I think about...
Who's they?
Well, they is everyone.
The people, as my wife calls them.
The people that are... whatever their agenda is, whether it's to die with $1 billion, whether it's because they're angry or whatever it is, right? There's something missing. It's a psychotic.
Yeah,
it's a form of psycho.
It's a sickness.
It's a sickness.
But we're sick in the same disease.
We're collateral sickness.
Collateral sickness. Yeah, I like it.
And
it's true.
I always think of this. I don't know if you remember this. There's this stupid TV show where there's I think it's called The Chaser. It's 2 people, right? And they basically, there's this chaser who's up here who's meant to be this intelligent person, and you go up and you ask each other's. It's a challenge between them. There's 8 spaces, and every time you get it right, you move forward, and every time she gets it right, you move backwards.
Oh yeah.
What's the game is to be able to push each other off, and I feel like we're in this huge global game of this shit. I'm like, all right, when we win, we go forward. When we lose, we go backwards. And it's to push each other off. Yeah. Whether you want to call each other the righteous and unrighteous, or the good and evil, or godly, ungodly, whatever you want to call it, there's something there.
There's a game going on. There's a dance back and forth.
There's a dance back and forth, man.
Totally.
And man, I just love that. We just got until my last breath. That's just
until my last breath. Exactly.
It,
I had that on the weekend. I sat 2 ceremonies, dying. I'm like, the ultimate deception, I believe. And this was coming through really strongly, is this fear that's being used against us. Yeah. And the ultimate fear is that fear of death.
Yeah.
But really, it's the fear of the unknown. And we're sold through our, the Christian church has done a great job of it, go to hell or whatever. Also through the media and education, that death is this like end game and then it's over. You lose when you die sort of thing. And for me, when I was in the bucket, it was all about dying. And it's like, I'm dying anyway, man. Right now, I am dying. You're dying right now. We're all dying. So if I'm dying, I'm going to die for something.
Yeah.
And I'll show up every day and I will die for my family to flourish, to thrive, not just survive week to week.
Yeah.
Your music there, yeah? But I'll get back to the point I was making when this whole thing happened, getting away from the fear. Money, man. Money's a manipulation. You can't, how many trillions of dollars? $5 trillion now or something's been printed globally?
Oh, man.
From who?
I know.
Who printed that money? Wait, the government's borrowed the money from the central banks. Taxpayers get to pay back the government to pay back the central banks. Who's the central banks?
Yeah.
Who are the people that are making up the money system? This group of elite people that control the whole world? I don't even want to be in that game. So I said, what do I need to do to get out of that game and be back to mother, be back to father, be back with the people? To me, it's like, all right, I just can't play in that. So what are my hierarchy of needs? I need food. That's why I launched Permacare.
Nice.
I said, how can we get food out of the hands of the money system, a commodity to be traded on the market, money system, back into people's backyards, back into communities' hands? Like you said, if there's enough food, it's just in the wrong places. Give it back to the people, give it back to the community. We can flourish, mate. And psychologically, like the chakra system, right?
Yeah.
The red base chakra,
Yeah.
that's like that survival instinct base needs.
Yeah.
Instantly when COVID hit, run on the shops, seedlings gone, online seeds. Man, they ran out of seeds, dude.
Oh, no, that's crazy.
It's crazy.
That's
you run out of seeds, that's not a good thing. But everyone was like, whoa, fear. And they started treating people poorly. I go to a Garden of Eden health food shop. I pick up chicken food twice a week. And the girls there were telling me they had to put a sign up to say, please remember your manners. People were being so rude in a health food store.
Crazy.
They're just like, people are in so much fear. And I'm like, we're in fear because we're playing with money that buys food. So now we have this fictitious entity that is based on scarcity. There's never enough money. It's a fiat debt-based system.
Yeah.
It's a beast that has to keep being fed.
Yeah.
It doesn't end. It just doesn't end.
Yeah.
Especially you print another $5 trillion from thin air. It doesn't end for how many generations to come, right?
No.
So I said, we need to remove that. Boom. Connect people back to food. No fear scarcity separating the two. And all of a sudden we can get out of base chakra and back into our hearts. Food's taken care of. Now I need shelter. We're working on that next. Now we can get back to creating community again. That's why I launched Permacare.
Nice. Yeah, like, man, on that note of just what you're talking about with the money, and with the fear. This is like, when I, like a conspiracy for me, right, or theory that I have, you can just observe and look at the fundamentals of what's happening in the world, and you can see that people, they're just that fear is being placed there. It's not like this cup has been put here. It didn't just pop up. Someone's got to put the cup there.
Totally.
And
someone had to have the idea of the cup as a useful vessel.
Yeah.
And then build it and then place it in front of you.
Well,
same as the fear.
Exactly, man. That's what I've been seeing is just we are pushed in this fight or flight mode.
Yeah.
And we're forced there, which is why I'm looking at this COVID going, what the hell's going on? Like, this is where, why are we put in fight or flight? When you look at any animal that's fight or flight, they're unpredictable. They don't know what they're gonna do, and they won't no longer use their conscious mind. They're going to use their subconscious, their survival, their beast, their animal side. You look at what's going on in America right now after this Floyd guy got murdered, this by the police officer.
When?
I think it was a couple of days ago or something.
I'm not on.
Anyway, it's just blowing up.
Really?
But what's happened since then is there's riots happening.
Really?
Massive, man, in the States at the moment. And what that tells me, man, is that the game they want? This chaos?
Fight. Yeah.
Fights instead of flights. They're
Well,
not
they
even
want both,
allowing-
mate.
They want both.
Yeah.
And this is why music became my weapon, because when I look at my weaponry wall, I've got my wall of weapons up here. You know, Facebook to me is just like a little dagger.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
Because I haven't built the following up and stuff to make it a good weapon, you know? And then I've got protesting for me. That's like, it's a baseball bat, you know what I mean? But then when I look at music, it's this like machine gun, because you know, it helps me to speak truth. The same thing I want to speak, you know, I want to stand on a pedestal like, you know, Malcolm X and just yell at everyone, right? I can still yell at people with music, you know. It's people don't realize this. I can scream at people with music, but it's not screaming. It's not anger. It's emotion. And I still get the same job done, but I'm not yelling at people. And I'm a big follower, you know what I mean? Like when I start yelling,
people get scared.
You know, and it's half the time it's not even like, I'm not an angry person. I've been an angry person, but now it's like I've chosen music as my form of yelling. Yeah. That's my, like, I'm going to scream at the world, right? But back to the point of why do they want us fighting? Because we're not fighting the people who need to be fought. We're fighting each other.
That's right.
What's up with that shit? You know, why I walk up to people and, you know, you want to shake their hand and it's like an insult now. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, that's...
Keeping this separate. Divide and conquer, man. It's worked for this long. Now it's this new age divide and conquer. Yeah. That whole walking up to people and they're like, I'm like, hey, you doing that? Oh, COVID bump. And I'm like, man, I'll give you a hug right now. That's what I say to everyone. And some people take it. Some people are like, yeah, all right, I'll give you a hug.
Man, some people like... You know, they do you shake hands? I'm like, if a handshake is the thing that's going to kill me, it's like I deserve to die, obviously, because fucking hell, man. Like, how could I go through so much craziness and die from a handshake? I'm like,
true way.
So for me, man, like, that's all, like, it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to care. See, this is this manipulation game they've mastered over generations. It's a perfectly balanced system where you've got, okay, it's like this, they've got this ingredient recipe book and they're like, all right, let's put a little bit of care in. So that's elderly and compromised people. Okay, cool. Yep. And a little bit of fear in. So we win from this. We're going to win from this. Because when has they ever cared about these people? They've never cared about these people. You know what I mean? But right now they care about them because it works for their gain. And when I say they...
Well, that's all I'm going to talk to you about. They. Come on. Who's they, man? Well, we can dive in. It's the Illuminati, it's the Cabal, it's all these psychopaths and all that. Yeah. But I reckon there's something going on that we can do something about. Because I don't know who those people are.
No, I don't know either, man.
I will never see them in my life, nor that I ever want to.
No.
But if I get it to like an energy, because everything's energy. Your energy, I'm energy.
Yeah.
People are watching energy right now. They're breathing energy, they're drinking energy. Everything's energy, right? Fear is a dense energy. It's a dark energy. Love, even saying the word love, it's a light energy. It's like the wind blowing over a field and flowers in bloom sort of energy, right?
Love, anyway, yeah. Well,
love's where it's at.
I get ya.
So for me, I don't know who they are. Personally, I don't really care who they are.
Yeah.
The fear that they are spreading is something that I am being impacted by.
Yeah.
I'm not physically being impacted by a person.
Yeah.
I'm being impacted by fear. And so for me, fear is the only enemy. All I got to do is let that go.
Like, fear is such an interesting thing, right?
Yeah.
With the right dosage, it has a purpose. It's the same reason
it's like
why
the
I won't burn my hand on a hot plate.
But then it ends, you know, like you're afraid and then you're done and then you're back into relax.
Exactly, man. So even fear has been manipulated.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just anything. I always say anything in excessive is bad.
Totally.
You know, water, you need it. You drink too much, you drown. Like, there's simple things, you know. Air, we can breathe the whole lung food and inject the same air and you're dead. You know, there's things, depending on how you do
you
things.
Hyperventilate and pass out and hit your head and die.
All these things, right? So fear and love to me is in its own merit an interesting emotion, man. Yeah. Like,
but I don't feel love is like we use love as an emotion.
Yeah.
But love to me is the vibrational field that everything springs from. It's like divine source, God, Allah, Great Spirit, whatever, the Tao, the one that can't be named, right?
Yeah.
To me, that is love with a capital L. And when I say love, that's what I'm getting back to. It's like, I really love the Tao. I'm a follower of everyone, you know, Buddhist, Krishna, you know, Jesus. Muhammad I have had less to do with. I honor and respect that culture, but it's different for me.
Yeah.
But indigenous wisdom, Maori people, Aboriginal people, you know, Hawaiians. I've spent a lot of time in a lot of different places, yeah?
Yeah.
That all comes back, everyone's saying the same thing. There is a uniting force, an aspect, call it what you will, but there's some source that we all come from, and it resonates love, divine love.
Yeah.
That for me is all I have to surrender into.
Yeah.
But it's the unknown, can't be named. You can't know it, like know here. And that's where for me, the ego sense of self, the I, gets really scared and uncertain because and especially for a man, I'm finding. Women, for me, what I'm noticing is easier to go into the unknown. They're very emotional. Women are a lot more emotional than men.
Yeah.
You know, all of a sudden they're crying and the next minute they're laughing. Men's like, what is going on here? You know, we just don't have those swings. You know, the unknown for them it's closer. Yeah. You know, for us, it's like we really like to control. I like to have a plan. I'm going to go this way. And you know what I mean?
Yeah, man, just go shopping, you know.
Yeah.
Get it done.
Get it done, get in, get out. Women's like an hour or 2 days later still walking around.
And it's those, I mean, even on that, just want to, even on that, it's those two entities, like when you look at what runs the world, you know, I love male and female energies together because, you know, me and my wife, we work so hard on embracing our energies as male and female.
Yes.
Not crossing over, because there's things, look, you know, it's just a trigger topic right now, right? And I know there's probably going to people will be like, oh, but that's where we're at now. We're over trying to think about feelings. We're trying to get to this point where we can coexist. So, man, I'm past the trigger pointing part. I'm like, hey, if you're going to get triggered at the people that are, you know, messing with us. Yeah. Not people that trying to create unity. So, look, on that note of female and male, that's the solution I see,
agree.
man. That you know, woman being men being woman. It's like, I got nothing against people's personal decisions, but I'm saying as an energy.
Yeah, totally.
Not as what's between your legs, but as that energy. You're born with this energy. Yeah. And right now there's just too much male dominance in the world, which maybe that's the problem. Maybe there isn't a cabal. Maybe there isn't a evil source. Maybe it's just a fact that there is not enough woman energy in the decision making. We're out of harmony as humanity. Yeah. You know, maybe we are our own worst enemies. And maybe that is the solution, is for men to be back into their masculine energy, women to be back into their feminine energy, for the unification of those two for the family, to build that strong family. And the Tao talks about when there's unity in the home, there's unity in the nation. Yeah. And it's all about bringing that unity again. Yeah. But, man, I want to tap on what you're saying there. If you have a look, like your wife is Turkish. She's Turkish. Yeah. My wife is Russian. Very feminine woman, your wife. Yeah. Very feminine. Yeah. Which encourages and allows you to be very masculine. Yeah. Mine's the same. Very feminine woman allows me to be in my masculine, which is why you and I get to sit and have this conversation the way that we are, right? Yeah, right. Man meets man. Women will just love each other, playing with each other, right? If you have a look, especially in Australia right now, because we're in Australia, there are so many women that are masculine, and so many men who are little boys, not tapped into their male essence, not living in their balls, living in their heads. Yeah. Women are freaking out. They don't want to be in that masculine dominated role, but the men are being pussies, and that's tipping. And then the men are like, oh, I don't know. And then the women don't want to. And there's this like weird imbalance happening right now. And I'm not saying it's men's fault. I'm not saying it's women's fault, but there's something that's not right in these relationships right now, which leads to the suicide you're talking about as well. Big time, man. Big time. It's. But you know what I'm talking about with that? I do, man. Imbalance. You see it, yeah. Everything from male and female to cultures to everything is just misplaced. Yeah, totally. It's like we all here, right? There's a camera here, camera here, camera here, all these things here, and then you go, oh, I'm just going to the toilet, and you come back, and it's all over the place. You're going to be like, what the hell? we won't be able to finish the podcast if we done that because it's not where it's meant to be. The reason why this podcast right now is flowing is because things are where they're meant to be.
All in their right place.
In their right place. And I'm like, you know, I know it's not one person. This is the thing I want to try and always reassure. So I'm not talking about that one guy or one girl. I'm talking about that energy as a culture.
Yeah, exactly.
It's complete, like you can see where things flow is the place that are culturally deep. You know, in my culture as a Māori from New Zealand, you know, the women were the hierarchy. They're the ones that run it. Yeah, man. That traditionally, 100%. They were, you know, obviously they had this power because they were the ones that was to hold the place down, and the men were the gatherers, the protectors, and all these things. But they both worked together. They can't survive without each other. They have to work in unison. And if you're a man and you're overflowing yourself with female energy, or like either both ways, vice versa, that's friction.
Yeah, it doesn't work, eh?
It doesn't, because
and
it's
it
not
creates
natural,
internal. It's not natural, and creates internal conflict in people. And I personally had to go through it, eh? Like when I was a teenager, I had a lot of pain, man. Yeah. So I started training martial art when I was 10. I went to my dad and I was like, I want to train karate. And my dad's like, where did that come from? Right? And I just had this thing, I had to train karate. So I started training at 10, fell in love with it. My sensei was a SWAT team police officer, same build as me, same height, same build. I was a kid, but you know, now, bravery award winning SWAT team, super integrity, young family, gorgeous man. He was a weapon. He was a weapon, and he taught me to be a weapon. State champion 6 times, full contact karate, went to the Australian titles as a brown belt, the only brown belt there, got my black 6 months later. And all I wanted to do when I was a teenager was be a professional fighter. That's all I wanted to do, man. Yeah. And then we moved from Cairns to Brizzy at 16, tried to join another 2 karate clubs that were weak as piss. And I was like, fuck, come on, let's go. Like, I was discipline, honor, loyalty, respect. They were the 4. My brother's got the tattoos. He's 18 months younger. He's got the tattoos in the Japanese kanji. Yep. Like, that was how discipline, honor, loyalty, respect. It was just drilled into us, man. We lived that. And then in Brisbane, I just couldn't find my place. Me and my dad had a massive falling out. Yeah. Dad used to drink a lot. I didn't like that. I was very like karate and study. Yeah. That's all I wanted to do. I just love to learn. Yeah, that
distracting your inner emotions or something.
Yeah, distracting, but also, you know, Dad's telling me how to live my life, and he was not living the life that I want to live. Yeah. You know, I'm a free spirit entrepreneur, living my life, free to do what I want to do when I want to do it. Dad was steady job, feed the family, keep your head down, keep your mouth shut. Sort of thing.
And which is those, you know, what are they? Emerald? What are they? What was that generation? Oh, they had their own thing. They served.
But he did it for the family, man. Yeah. Like, he did well for us. He really did.
Yeah.
But we had to cut you off. Please, no. We had a falling out, and then I started training kickboxing, and then I started training boxing, and they were more like, you're there for the fight. Yeah. It wasn't discipline. It wasn't honor. It wasn't loyalty. It wasn't respect. It was about put your gloves on and let's fucking go. Yeah. And I started getting into that energy. Anyway, by the end of high school, I was done, man. I didn't know who I was anymore. Me and Dad didn't have a relationship. I was being Mr. Goody Two-Shoes at school because that's what they wanted. Yep. Go to uni, okay. But then I started drinking, and then I started fighting. And I just go on the street. I stopped getting invited to parties because every party I went to, I would start a fight. And not with one guy. Yeah, I was like 3 guys here, 5 guys one night. Didn't end well. Man. I was just violent, man.
I've been there, man.
Yeah, we all have.
A lot of anger and, I mean, you know, different story. But yeah, sorry.
But I'll finish this because, anyway, it's an interesting part of how this whole thing goes. I started breaking into cars. Yeah. This guy, car chase, boom, rams my car, comes out swinging, like police came, got 16 charges, had to go to court. I've been to court 12 times, finally got to the district court, got sentenced, got a no recorded conviction. But one of those convictions was an assault conviction. So I have a no recorded assault conviction, which has hurt me later trying to get driver's authorization and stuff for driving tourists back in the day. But anyway, just painful stuff. I'm walking out of the courtroom, 19, and this guy follows me out, follows me to work the next day. And anyway, for a week, he threatened to kill me. Shit. We went and saw him. He thought I was part of some crime syndicate trying to put his car audio shop out of business. And at this stage, I was just trying to clean my life up, man. I'd left uni, got a good job, only did a year and a half, got a good job. I was just like, yeah, make money. That's what we do now. Yeah. Miserable, dude. This dude threatens to kill me, then threatens to kill my little sister, who was 10. Me and Dad went and got a restraining order put on him. The next morning, he calls me, said, the police just visited me. You'll be dead by this afternoon. Broke the restraining order immediately. Dad's like, you either go into police custody or you get on a plane and you fly back to Cairns right now. I'm like, what do I do? He said, pack a bag, you're going to Cairns. Packed a small backpack. Dad puts me under a blanket on the backseat of the car, drives me to the airport where he worked. He worked for Qantas for 15 years. Back in the days, 2001, like drives me around, tags it in, walks me onto the plane, sits me down. I fly back to Cairns. My life changed that day. I made a vow that day because I looked at my life, like I broke down, man, when I got to Cairns. Another story, I'll leave it. But I looked at my hands and I realised that violence, I bashed my dad when I was 17, man, broke his jaw, like not good, kneed him in the head, like violence, bro. I went from discipline, honour, loyalty, respect to violence. And I vowed, I looked at my hands and I said, I will never lift my hands in violence again. And I never have. I've never been in a fight. Younger days, I had 2 guys try and start me in nightclubs, punch me, another guy headbutt me. I'm just like, I could tear you apart, bro. I'm just like, walk away.
Yeah.
And for me, I then went from, and this is the point of the story, from massive amounts of violence and anger and pain with a conviction to show for it, massively feminine. Grew my hair long, yoga, meditation, had guys fight me. I'm like, no. And I become feminine. I become a woman. Until 20 to 28, I was like tie fish pants, long hair, feeling my femininity, like swung from one extreme, disempowered masculine, to total disempowered feminine. I'm not feminine. And since then, the last 10, 11 years has me, the pendulum swinging back to the middle to integrate the two.
Yeah.
Right? So I get what it means to be both sides of the spectrum and be that man who's actually a woman in man's clothing. And finding that place within me to be strong. Yeah. Man is strong, but not violent. Yeah. Man's not violent. Man is, act if I need to act, but I act from love.
Well, even on that, man, it's the last weapon you need to bring out.
If ever. But I got it there if I need to, but it's not what we need.
But I'm glad you say that, man, because, you know, what makes a police officer so confident walking around is that they got a gun. They know they got a gun.
More than just a gun. They got a lot of weapons on them, but
yeah, exactly. They've got all of these things. That's what makes them confident, right? Some of them you can take away the gun and they'll still be confident, right? Because they know they can fight. You know, I've got a similar. So, did you finish with your thing?
Oh man, thank you for letting me get that out. No, but that's the path, you know, like letting it go. So you're on. Tell us.
I've got a similar story, man. Well, I was the same. I had a lot of just anger as a kid. You know what I mean? I just hated everyone. I mean, I hated the world. I had so much, you know, just. I come from this small place called Wairau.
Where's that?
It's central East Coast, North Island.
Okay.
Population's about probably 5,000 people, right? Wow. There were stages in my life where my town was making world news because just the murder rate there, the gang rate. You know, you ask anyone from New Zealand, Wairau, that was gang central.
Mostly Māori?
Mostly Māori, man. Yeah. And mostly just like proper psychopaths, right? That's... there's Mongrel Mob and Black Power. They're your 2 main gangs, right? They originated as freedom fighters for Māori people. They were meant to. In ancient times, they would be the Spartans. But what happens when Spartans don't have to go to war? They're warriors. They're soldiers. But they got lost along the way. There was like so much things happening. So there was generations of damage happened, which I'm the one who took the final hit for my bloodline. I'm like, holy shit, this blew me on my ass. I'm angry all the time. Same thing, started fighting and everything. And I had a similar experience with my fighting, where I actually just, I smashed this guy once. And in my defense, this guy was screaming out that he was going to rape these girls, right? So I'm just like, freaked me out, man. And at that moment, I realized, shit, I can kill someone. And I made the same pact to myself, what you're talking about. I said, I'm never going to fight again, you know, and that was like 9 years ago now. You know, I'm 31 now.
Oh, yeah, you're 10 years younger, 8 years younger.
Yeah, man. So, and I still haven't to this day. Beautiful. And people know I've got that weapon.
You're huge, bro.
Exactly, man.
And you're strong, like in your center.
Exactly. And I realized then, I'm like, my words, it's back to the music.
Yes.
It's more powerful than my fighting will ever be. And I'll tell you now, since that day, the amount of people I've psyched out just from my words, they come up, oh, do you want to fight? And I'm like, yo, man, do you want to fight me? Are you sure you want to fight me? And they're like, what? Well, of course I want to fight you. Man, I said to this guy, I'm like, I want you to think about this, man. You don't know me. I'm pretty big. I could be a trained martial artist. I could be a police officer on my day duty's off. Are you willing to take that risk? I'm just like fucking with this guy's head, giving him decisions he's got to make, and he's like, oh, I don't want to, and he walks away. And I'm like, that just, I got excited from that shit because I'm like, damn. Back in the days, it was like fight first, talk later. Yeah. You know what I mean? Then I'm like, actually, half of these people who want to fight, you can psych them out. If you do meet someone who is a real psychopath, they won't talk. They'll fight. Yeah. They'll come up and punch me in the head, and I've got to have done something wrong to receive that. But look, the point I'm making here,
same journey, bro.
It's the same journey, right? Is fighting wasn't the answer.
Yeah.
It didn't serve a purpose. All it was for me was expression. It's what it is, man. It's an expression. I was expressing myself. I made some mistakes. My big mistake, besides from that one, was I went on a rum page.
Rum page.
Shit, man. Never touched rum since that day.
What's the rum bag? It's not Bundy. What is it in
Bundy?
Wairau?
It was Bundy.
It's still Bundy there as well. That's
this
dangerous,
wasn't in Wairau. This
man.
was in Darwin.
Oh, in Darwin, okay.
I lived in Darwin.
Yeah, rough place too, bro.
And I had a rum page, man, and I don't have any memory from it. Apparently,
this is young, like 20.
I was 19.
19,
man.
yeah.
It was on the news. It was at the Darwin Cup. I start off as the victim, which is in the court. I went to court. Someone bottled me. And I flipped out, man, and just saw black.
Blacked out.
Boom.
I've been there a few times,
Woke up,
man.
And there it is. All these charges, you know, punching and knocked a police officer out.
They couldn't stop you.
Oh, man, and no one could.
You went berserk.
I wasn't there.
Nah, I've been there too, man.
And I came back a couple months later, and this is where I love, like, some of the teachings my mum gave me, which take responsibility, right? And, you know, all this wisdom my mum, it clicks now, but I went into court and I was facing like 20 years jail, man.
What?
Because the police officer.
Because the police officer, yeah.
You know, it's like there's zero tolerance towards that, man. And I didn't get a lawyer. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just stand here and look that judge in the eyes and let the truth be the judge. And man, I just opened up to the judge. I'm like, look, you know, he's like, do you need, mate, you should get a lawyer. This is really serious charges. And I'm like, I don't need a lawyer to tell me what I done was wrong. I know what I done was wrong, man. Anyway, end story, man. No conviction.
No conviction even?
Not even a conviction, man.
Like not guilty?
Let me out.
Whoa.
No jail time. No fine.
Community service?
Not even a community
what
service, man. I know, man. And this is where you
because you just spoke your truth and
I looked through. I looked at him and I spoke to him like man to man, and I told him like, look, I'm 19, and he said his words to me, mate, you're 19 years old. I'm here to punish the people who do the wrong thing. You obviously I'm looking at your statement here. You were bottled. Yeah. You've gone into a crazy system. Anyway, man, that tells me one of two things, bro. One, either that was the first proof to me that there is a universe or a synchronicity or God or Jah or whatever you want to call it.
Jah.
And that was the one thing, right? Or the other thing is the justice system's just fucked because like it's probably both, right?
I think it's a bit of both, but I like the first one as a focus.
But that was the first thing was what that started me on my spiritual journey. Oh. And it was like this crazy shit, man. And man.
That berserk thing's mental, eh? I call it berserk.
Yeah.
That's like a warrior days.
Yeah. When
you couldn't feel pain.
Yeah.
You didn't know what was going on. At the end of it, everyone was dead around you and you were standing there going, whoa, where did I go? Right? Like old battlefield warrior times. I haven't met too many people who've explained the same. Oh, the same, mate. I just black out, didn't even know what happened. Then people are telling me later, oh, dude, and then you did this and you did that. And I'm like, what?
I know.
What happened? Or you come to and you're like, yeah, it's there on your hands. You're like, whoa, what happened? Mental, it's like inner warrior stuff coming through.
It is, man. And there's been a time where that has protected me, man. There's been a time where I was with a friend of mine in Darwin. We got jumped from 10 guys. They were all like they were army guys, man. Because Darwin's, you got 3 types of people in Darwin, right? Probably 4. Army, just crazy Māoris, the Aboriginals, and these crazy just like bogans, right? Yeah. That's a cyclone. They've got Māori and Aboriginal who have big chips on our shoulders as a race. Yeah. So all they do is drink and fight because that's back to that cultural damage that we're not looking at.
Still not.
We're walking along with this big infected wound in our leg and just go, nah, I'm all right, bro. I'm all right. But it's like, man, get your leg fixed. That's what we need as like, if there was one person to represent every single person in Māori culture, that one person's got a broken leg, he's got this big wound, and he's just still carrying on like nothing's going on. That person needs to get his shit together, you know. So, man, we got jumped. Me and a mate of mine, I was in the toilet area, I came out, and my mate's just getting smashed. 10 guys, man.
Jesus.
And I went into that
just ran
space
into it,
again.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm like in protective mode.
That's my boy right there.
Yeah, man. And
young, 18, 19 sort of thing again?
At the time, he was a bit older than me, actually. It was a few but I was 18. You were 18, 19 at the time. Yeah. He was a couple years older than me. But that was that energy I tapped into then to protect my mate. You know what I mean? And I did protect him.
You ran in, sort of.
Man, yeah, I cleaned up a few of them.
Scattered the roaches.
Full on, man. And they were big boys.
And you had to do it.
But it was at that moment, that first punch, where I realized there is something else going on in here, because, I could punch this wall on my normal day and it'll hurt me. Yeah. But if I punch that wall with that energy, I'll probably break through it, and it's like you can only tap into that originally with anger, but I've tried to tap into that with peace, with letting people know, hey, look, I've got this weapon, man. Don't make me pull it out. Let's just work it out.
And that's speak again. Coming back to
the words, man.
Speak, yeah.
Words are powerful.
Look at what Gandhi did. Yeah. Look at what Martin Luther King did. You know, these are centered, strong, I know who I am kind of men, who just come from love, speak their truth in spite of everything. Yeah. In the end, they both got shot for it. I think Lennon was the same. Someone opened his front door, and Bob Marley, same. Yeah.
No one knows.
How did he really die?
Oh, right. Yeah. Nipsey Hussle, he's another artist.
Oh, yeah.
He's there's the lead singer of Activator. These people, like, there's heaps of things going on, which some people might know who I'm talking about, but these are freedom fighters that still exist now, but they get quietened down. This
fighting thing, though, I think we're channeling the same energy that there's a better way, man. And it's not losing that power. I'm just jamming. I don't know the answers, bro. But it's not losing that strength, that inner center. Yeah. But it's channeling that into more productive weapons. Yeah. And productive in getting an outcome that we desire. Yeah. In the ceremony, there was a song playing, teach us to fight with no war. Yeah. And that's where we're going. It's like, teach us to fight, freedom fighters, teach us to fight with no war. And a lot of my mates at the moment are going up and doing these protests. Oh, there's a big one in Brisbane. I think it's this weekend they're sitting again.
Yeah,
Saturday, yeah. These protests, but I'm not called to go and be part of that protest.
I'm the same, man.
Really?
Man, protests, it's, I'm not called the same way, man. To me, it's not... To me, we need to think smart. Yeah. In order, like, these people who we're talking about, back to these people, whoever these people are, right? The
purveyors of fear.
The purveyors of, exactly, man. Whatever's going on, these people, this group of people who are more than likely just, this monkeys, this monkey thing where there are 5 monkeys and they spray the monkey. Have you heard this?
No.
So it's like this science experiment, right? Where they put these 5 monkeys in this cage, and there's an elevator, and any monkey, a ladder with a bunch of bananas up the top. A monkey goes up, they beat the monkey up in front of the other 4. Next monkey goes up, they beat the monkey up. Anyone that goes near the elevator, they beat the monkey up.
Yeah.
Anyway, they end up, after a while, none of them start going up there, right? Because they're like, shit, every time we go up there, we beat the monkey up. They swap one of the monkeys for another monkey. And then that monkey goes up. The monkeys start beating up that monkey because they don't know that shit, it's their fear, right?
Far out.
After a while, it's a whole new set of monkeys have never tried to go against there.
They've taught each other.
They just start hoarding each other, man. And I'm like, it's back to that thing, man. It's
That's
like,
where we're at.
It's where we're at.
Yeah.
We don't even know why we're fighting.
Yeah.
We're fighting just because it's what we do.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, it's crazy, man.
Dude, it's crazy. We already had that in Australia big time. You know, the tall poppy syndrome, cut everyone down. Now it's even worse, man. And I don't even want to plan it. Like, I put some posts up on, I've got a decent following, you know, people listen to me, have been for years, not compared to some people, but, you know, I've got a good crew of people that are on the same page.
Yeah.
And I put up a post about like positive stuff. Yeah. This is, you know, say a month ago when it was really, everyone was in massive fear. It's coming out of it a little bit now.
Yeah.
Love posts. Let's focus on solutions. Let's do this together. Nobody wants to, no likes, no comments, no engagement, which then doesn't push it to more people. One negative post, boom, all these likes, all these comments, yeah. And it's like, wow, the fear is being perpetuated. The love and positivity, not so much.
Sort of put out,
Yeah, not so much. So where are we feeding? You know, it's like the 2 wolves inside thing. Which one are you feeding? We got to feed the positive, bro.
It's back to that fight or flight, man. People need to get out of this state of fight or flight.
That's the key, I reckon.
Because once we get out of there, you know, we have intelligence. You know, we when we're not in fight or flight is where we're really, really emotionally intelligent. All these intelligence go out the door.
Yeah.
Soon as, you know, as a person who's fighting, and you probably know this the same way, is when you're in the ring, you're not thinking about bills and
that's all you can do is just to be in that moment.
You have to
surviving,
bro,
getting through this.
And that's why, like, the lyrics that keep coming to me is we're not here to survive. We're here to thrive. We're not. We've gone beyond surviving, man. You know, our life expectancy's changed. We've got healthy food. We've got healthy water. We've been blessed with the plumbing. You know, we flush the toilet. We don't know what happens after that, but we know that there's no shit in the toilet.
That's right.
Whatever happens in there, it's intelligence. And I feel like that's what they're attacking, is our intelligence and our spiritual intelligence.
Yeah.
Because when you look at this COVID, right, this is my theory. What is the first thing that COVID attacked? Music. First thing.
Shut down all of the clubs, all the cafes, restaurant venues.
Live venues, festivals.
Oh, that was even before cafes and restaurants, wasn't it? It was
man. Music was the first thing out the door. What's music known for mostly, man? Spirituality.
Totally.
So you look at that. The next thing, connection.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to shake hands, no hugging. Then there was, you're not allowed to visit each other.
Yeah.
These are all spiritual attacks.
Totally, bro.
These are these things are the fundamental part of human.
Yeah.
You know, arts, music,
culture.
Love,
That's
culture.
what makes culture.
Why? It's a weird thing that then they do, you know, you can't go to the clubs, but then you go to Bunnings
or
and there's
the
like
supermarket.
5,000 people
totally.
there. It's just, you can have 100 conspiracies, but you can look at it and just use your freaking head and go, this don't make sense.
And then we get to say, well, let's bring that back into our lives, right? Hence this conversation. You're talking about getting out of fight and flight. That's exactly why, and I'm going to do a plug right now for Permacare.
Yeah.
Intermission. For me, play the music, bro. Permacare. Because fight or flight, bro, is exactly that. Where's my food coming from?
Yeah.
I don't know, how do I feed my family? Boom, fear, fight or flight, perpetuates long enough, stress hormones, you know, what comes next? Lots of things, right? So I'm like, man, we got to get the food back into people's hands. So Permacare, I'm going to plug it right now.
Yeah, do it.
Permacare.org. Go and check it out. I think you've had a look already.
Yeah.
We are first phase, bring in organic food from the local community to the local community.
Nice.
So right now we're on the Gold Coast because we've got some local farmers here providing the food for us. So if anyone wants to get local, fresh, organic produce, they can do that now on the Gold Coast.
You heard that.
You heard that. Get in there, people. Plus, we're just, at the moment, we'll launch it next week, putting all the pantry items in.
Nice.
So rather than buying all your stuff at Coles and Woolies, buy it with Permacare. You got to eat anyway, right? It's affordable produce because we buy it direct from the farmers, so there's no middleman, right? It's all your pantry items that you need anyway. Don't pay to Coles and Woolworths and feed the machine.
Yeah.
Pay into Permacare. That money goes back into your local community.
Yeah.
Because our phase 2 is we're going to grow gardens in our members' backyards.
Nice.
And we're going to have a team of Permacare hippies, what I call us,
Yeah.
people who just have to grow food, going around and doing maintenance on all of these gardens. So imagine the whippersnip mow guys used to come to your house. Screw that. It's gardens now.
Yeah.
We'll come in for an hour, 2 hours, and we'll look after your food for you.
Nice.
So your backyard is food security. And then the excess we're going to distribute through the network.
Yeah.
So now the farmers who will, if diesel runs out, man, or something goes down here, those farmers, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
But if you've got local growers in your backyards, all connected, we're good again.
Yeah.
We just got to get the food back where the food belongs, and that's in people's homes. So that's Permacare. So go to permacare.org, check it out if you live on the Gold Coast. If you live anywhere else, go and register for the notifications, because we'll let people know when we move to Brisbane next. We're in Northern Rivers now. We'll head down to Byron soon as we start to source more local growers.
Yeah.
Because once we take care of food, no stress anymore.
Yeah.
If the Greater Depression really happens, there's a chance of it. If the monetary system gets cranked down even more, you're going to be freaking out if you can't buy food for your family.
Yeah, man.
But if you know it's there, you can get out of that, you can get into love, and you can shine.
And man, even on that, hang on.
Permacare,
on that note, man, what you're talking about.
Then you're going to play some music again? You want to play another song after this?
For sure.
Yeah, dude, sweet.
What you're talking about this this fight or flight, on that note. As a person who's been in fights, even when I'm in fight or flight, I'm focused. And that's where we have to get to.
Yeah.
We have to evolve where we're not. I fought with people who are just all over the place, man. They're fighting on their animal instincts, and they're throwing punches everywhere. But because they're not focused, they're not seeing the target. And what we have to learn, my opinion is, and my theory is, we have to learn to endure this, because it's not going to stop.
Nah.
But we have to learn, evolve, to be still and focused whilst we are being attacked. Because if any strategy that I've really loved is the war strategies. The way they strategize it's I don't love it. Don't get me wrong. It's not love. It's
but as a strategy,
as a strategy, we can use these strategies
totally, we have
as
to.
humans. We don't realize that the soldiers who are in the army have been trained there for years, man, to control their mind.
Yeah.
And if we don't have our mind controlled, but have our mind controlled,
by others,
right? Exactly, man. We then are easily manipulated.
That's what's happening right now.
And we exactly, man. People are in fight or flight, but they're in chaos, animal mode.
Yeah.
We are human freaking beings. We have intelligence. We can be still. We can be focused while the chaos is happening.
Well, that's what we got. The gut, which is that animal, and the mind, which is the higher spirit.
That's it.
And between the two of them is the heart, and that's where we want to live and resonate from. But we can go into animal, fucking get it done, or we can go up and or we can go and be in both,
harmony,
spin out
exactly,
both, right? You're talking about being a warrior leader.
Yeah.
So you're not just in the chaos going wild, but you're cool-headed, making decisions. Hey, you guys go over there, you go that way, you go that way. And while you're in the action,
that's it, man.
the more people we can get into warrior leader mode, the more leaders in the world, more centered warriors. That's why I do men's work, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm part of the Samurai Brotherhood.
Nice.
Comes out of Canada. We've just launched it here probably a year ago. It was launched through a brother of mine, Kaibor. He brought it from Canada.
Yeah.
And the Samurai Brotherhood is a men's movement, but not like Mankind Project, which I'm part of as well.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Mankind Project?
Maybe.
Yeah, it's like the largest men's movement around the world. It's about 40-something years old.
Wow.
We'd go up the top of the mountain here in Springbrook, and we do initiation weekends where we take men for 3 days and, hero's journey type initiation. You can't talk about Fight Club sort of thing. Can't say what's going on, but it's like, doing the work. But Samurai Brotherhood's different. We come together every week, every Monday night for 3 hours. Me and the men are together. There's 13 of us in our circle, in our squad, they call us. There's a captain who takes care of it. sort of leads the show, but we're all there doing the work, man.
Yeah.
Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, challenging each other to step into that center and really hold that center for ourselves, for the other samurai, for the other warriors. It's called Samurai Brotherhood for a reason,
Yeah.
And for me, it's really bringing that energy of, I love you so much, Joseph, that I would kill you before I let you fall out of integrity. That sort of energy, that's how much I love you. Is I would do that for you. I would make sure that you die before you get out of integrity of who you are in this relationship and who you are in your center. That energy, that's samurai spirit, man. That's
because sort of it's unbreakable. You want to.
We have to. You imagine if you were a samurai and you're going to war. If you all of a sudden cut and run, or you got scared or whatever, and you leave my back exposed, I die, the other men die, the other warriors die, right? In that battle time. So we need that energy of like, you and I are in this together.
Yeah.
So even in Samurai Brotherhood, 3 strikes you're out. If you don't show up a Monday night and you don't have a valid reason, 1 strike. 2 strikes, actually 2 strikes you're out, but now he's doing 3 strikes.
That's accountability.
Accountability, bro. Like if you don't show up, you're letting us down. And this is the battlefield of life.
Yeah.
We're in a battlefield,
and we need to take that serious.
We have to.
Because I know what you're saying, man. Because I think of this all the time, man. I'm in my own life, very, very low tolerance of just bullshit.
Yeah, totally.
And some people, don't like it, whatever. But the reality is, man, is I've got kids and I've got a wife and, I have to do what I have to do to protect my family.
Straight up.
But I also understand, and I guess I have somewhat of wisdom to understand that I can't be surviving just my family because my kids, they will become their own men and they have to coexist. So I also understand my role is also to try and, it's a community thing because I know that if I don't do this part for the community, it's like gardens, back to gardens. You don't just think about where you put in the tomato tree, right? You got to think about the whole garden because the whole garden has to flourish in order for the tomato tree to flourish. So, I'm not a gardener by any means. I'm just looking at this there's probably a gardener. They're going, you can actually probably do that without the whole garden flourishing. But
well, you can't. The ecosystem has to thrive.
So, what you're talking about, man, accountability.
Yeah.
This is a part of maturing. This is a part of what's missing in a lot of men these days and a lot of people, man. And people aren't accountable. And they've always got someone to blame. There's always someone that can take the liability. There's always like, the train. There's the bus. The bus broke down. Or whatever it is, man. But I was raised as in, hey, don't catch the train that's 10 minutes before you're meant to get there. Catch the train that's an hour and a half. That way, if the train doesn't come, you still got an hour to figure that shit out.
Totally.
And that's
I liked
how
your mum.
Hey?
Your mum?
Yeah.
Although you were saying your mum taught you responsibility.
Yeah, man.
Your mum taught you, that's responsibility, right?
That's exactly, man. And there's things missing in our teachings. And I think that's what I spend a lot of my time is teaching my son these things,
How old's your boy?
3.5.
3.5, cool.
3.5.
Yeah, mine's 2.
Yeah.
That's good, man. Like, and you'll probably find it as well, like how much I'm growing as a man by being a man for my son.
Holy shit, dude. Man. This shit blew my mind.
Yeah.
I thought I knew shit.
Hang on a sec. 10 minutes left of recording. It's recording on that anyway, right?
That's more, but just the audio's dead.
No dramas. We're going to keep going. If you're up for it.
Yeah, I'm down, man.
How long have we been going for? Hour and 40, hour and a half? Something like that. Whatever. It's all good. You guys having fun out there? I hope you are. I hope this is helping.
Nice.
Certainly a good... Man, I want to dive into... If we're running out of time or something here. Let's move into... You're talking about community and we're all in this together.
Yeah.
Elliot, my man who we both know here, he was saying that you were doing a call out for the Lions or something.
Yeah,
Tell me about that.
Well, it's that I just got sick of...
And this is recently, right? Since the COVID thing? Yeah.
Recently. I got sick of talking. And I'm like, you know what, man? Like the whole point I put this, it's not even really going anywhere, man, because it shows that there's just not much lions in the world today. And when I think lions, man, I think that just this people that, a lion's such a graceful, righteous creature. I don't care what people say about lions or anything, but it's that character of a lion. The idea, man, was not to grow a big, huge community of warriors.
Yeah.
It's to grow 300 Spartans.
Yeah, totally.
The small, reliable brotherhood that will have each other's back no matter what.
Yeah.
So I knew some of these people, man. I started putting this group together, but it didn't get... I guess there's so much distractions in the world.
Yeah.
It got a little bit of traction, but like I said, man, there's no rush in growing it. But the idea was just like what you talked about with the samurai. So maybe I should jump ship.
Well, maybe we join forces.
Join forces, yeah.
But I love that you did that. You saw the need.
Yeah.
I did the same thing, man. I launched the Free Men.
Yeah.
That's what I call my little online gathering.
Yeah.
It's all on Zoom, right?
Yeah.
Yours too, or yours physical? Well,
yeah.
well, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both. Bit of both.
Bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So, yeah, I did the free. Straight away, I was like, boom, need to do this. I'm already sitting Samurai Brotherhood every Monday. And then I started doing the Free Men. We just done 5 weeks now, something.
Yeah.
And it's online, just a small group of us.
Yeah.
First, we had like 24 men show up the first night. Then it was like 12 and then 6. And now it's probably around between 6 and 8. Same guys every week. And I'm just keep showing up every Thursday. But we got to do it together, man. You're feeling the same thing, right? We need the men to come back into their power.
Yeah.
We got to do men's work, man.
Yeah.
Like the brothers coming back and finding that strength again inside.
And, man, I'm so inspired from my wife because the feminine energy that she has, and I see her with her female counterparts,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you guys are so much more evolved than the men.
Yeah.
You know, and we're still like boys.
Yeah.
Some men I'm still like, it's still a little, it just doesn't feel the same.
No.
You know, I've watched my wife have these woman-to-woman things where, you know, my wife's been like a little bit upset with someone, but how they deal with it, I'm like, wow, man. I'm like, you guys, I can't do that shit with some of my friends.
Well,
you know
think,
what I mean?
think of it. You keep talking about they, so I'll dive into the they conversation. The energy of fear. That's what I'm going, whatever. At least I can do something about that. That has been perpetuated in our society because as soon as you weaken the man, you weaken the family, and then the whole thing can be controlled. So men have been pushed away, Industrial Revolution, from the family. Children, boys, once upon a time, girls didn't go to school, remember? It was boys only went to school. Men were sent to the factories. Boys were sent to the factory schools to be taught to go to the factories later, completely disconnected from each other. That masculine energy is weakened by not being there.
Yeah.
The boys weakened. Who were the teachers of schools? 80% of school teachers, primary school teachers, are women. Little boys are being raised by women.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's just a demascularization of that masculine energy. Weakens that. No center, no strength, no speaking their truth.
Yeah.
Now we get to the situation that we're at. All right? So we're going to reverse that.
Yeah, we got to we got to bring it back a little bit.
Not we got to, we get to.
Yeah. We get to.
We get to do that,
we
man.
We get to, and
like I swung to the crazy masculine, same as you.
Yeah.
And then I swung to the feminine, and then I get to come back to the middle. So we were there, you know, crazy masculine killing each other, and then we've been swung to the men and little boys, like you're saying, and now we get to, as a collective, come back to the center. Yeah. And that's the work we get to do.
And on that note, about the females, the female energy, they equally, we had to see that everything needed to evolve. So I don't want to take that part away with it. Definitely, the females were suppressed throughout time.
Yeah, this pendulum had to swing for sure.
The overcompensation.
Yeah. It's
is
not
where
good
it's
for anyone.
Lost. Yeah. You've on your quest to become heard, you've lost the integrity of what you wanted to be heard for. Back to the monkey thing. You know what I mean? You're no longer trying to get the banana now. It's the next generation now. And now everyone's yelling at each other and they don't know why they're yelling at each other. And I think that's important. We're not monkeys. We can say, hey man, people are getting bashed for climbing up for that banana. Yeah. And then we can go, why don't we work together? Hey, this is what we'll do. You distract him, we'll do this. And then we're intelligent. We're not monkeys. And people keep saying it's like, we're not lions. We're not monkeys. These things here. But we can inherit these characters often. I want to share something with you.
Go, bro.
This evolution.
And then we're going to play a song, and then we're going to get out of here. Because I see you sweating too, man. We don't have the aircon in here because it's noisy.
I'm always sweating.
Yeah, all right.
This is one of my
attractive qualities.
evolution, right? This is something's been playing with my head, right? There's so much different. There's atheist, creationist, evolutionist, all the isms and schisms, right? Yeah. This thing blows my mind because I've got a friend of mine who's atheist, right? I believe I have had proof that there is a God, whatever you want to call it.
Amen.
Right? And people say, but the Bible don't make sense. And this is something I'm gonna try and get like 4 things going on here, right? This is the first thing I want to say is, what is a phone without the internet? Nothing. What is the Bible without God? Nothing. The connection is what gives it the value, right? So first things first, man, is I've had that proof. You know, I'm not like this religious person. I'm just the person that would rather accept that there is something bigger than us than go into insanity because of the synchronizations that happen. Because I would go insane the amount of synchronizations I've had. You doing this, I'm like, I would lose my mind if I didn't have that. This is not a natural, this is not a synchronization. This is this universal hand moving us around. It's divine timing, all of these things, man.
Great.
So that's the first thing. Second thing, just about this evolution, the thing that's blown my mind is people say we come from monkeys. And I'm like, man, if you want to spend your whole life thinking you're a monkey, you're only ever going to be a monkey. And what happens when you think you're a monkey? You get told what to do and you'll do it because you've been trained to think like a monkey. Me, I choose to be an infinite being of light who comes from this source. So let's look at each other. None of us know the truth because you can only give me your opinion, but you're going to spend your whole life thinking you're a monkey, and I'm going to spend my whole life thinking I'm from this infinite source. At the end of the day, we're here to live. And if you want to live your life like a monkey, by all means, go for it.
What's the more empowered belief? All right. You get to choose.
You know, it's like this. So that I just had to share that.
Oh, I love it, bro.
Because I'm like,
I reckon we're going to wrap up because we've been going for a while.
Yeah.
But this is to be continued.
Yeah.
Next conversation, we're going to play some tunes, we'll get out of here. Next conversation, we'll see where our relationship evolves as well. We got to do this together, man.
Yeah.
Like, we got to come together, bring the brothers, bring the sisters, bring the families, and music and speaking and industry, you know, things that I'm an entrepreneur, bro. Yeah. Like, I come up with solutions. I'm an innovator, right? So I go look at all these different moving parts. If we all came together and figured this out, like, you're on the same path, I'm on the same path, and you're on the same path too if you're still here listening to this. And if we drop the ego, as we drop the ego, it's inevitable, and we let go of the divide and conquer, we let go of the fight, the let go of the control, because the divine hand, I agree with you, is you can't, like, I'd go crazy trying to justify all the synchronicities, right? There's divine, it's all perfect time and it's all working out on time. The sunrise rises when the sun rises. You can't rush the sunrise or the flower to bloom. It's perfect. Our awakening process is perfect too. Together we're better, we're a tribe, we're a community. So the next conversation is, what does it look like, you know? Come together and do this.
Oh, so much things to talk about.
I know. That's the thing. But this is the first date.
Yeah.
I think this is good because this is going out to your audience as well.
Yeah.
This is going out to my audience. And together, you guys were on the same vibe here, right?
Yeah.
I've always had this vision of, you know, the seed of life?
Yeah.
Or the flower of life, the seed of life is the center, the interconnecting circles, right?
Yeah.
They're actually spheres. And then they connect. So the Tribe of Freedom, you guys will see it at the front or the back of this. The Tribe of Freedom logo is the seed of life. You're one of those spheres, and your circle or your sphere is your tribe, your community. Like if I said, hey, call 10 people right now, let's throw a party, man, you'd be 10 people in a heartbeat, right? And I'm the same. I'll bring 10 people. All of them will bring 10 people. All of them will bring 10 people. Yeah. And that's the spheres, the circles that connect. If we come together and your tribe and my tribe connect because you and I are connected, and then those two circles overlap because you and I are holding hands, now we've got double the amount of strength.
Yeah.
And if we get another leader over here who's got his tribe and his family and another leader there, now we're quadruple the strength. You bring one, I'll bring one, the 4 of us together. Yeah. And then we do that ad infinitum, that creates the flower of life. That creates the future for us. Yeah. That's what I see.
Yeah, I agree, man. And I'm working so much behind the scenes with some things that I'll bring to the table next. One Tree Collective.
Bro.
It's
Use
music,
this if you want. If this is any good for you.
Yeah. down
sitting
for
there,
it.
man.
Yeah.
Come and use it. Spend all the money setting it up. Like, let's bring the vibes through.
Man.
Come and jam, bro. If you want to bring people, we can change this configuration and set up whatever you need to bring the vibes to the people.
Well, we'll take next conversation.
Yeah, cool.
There's things coming.
Yeah,
and
cool.
there's things here. There's things it's like, or that, like, back to the thing at the beginning of that chaser game. It's like every day we don't take a step,
we get pushed
opposition
back.
takes a step.
That's right.
And the opposition isn't, I don't think, one person or this evil group. No. It's ourselves. We are our own enemies, man.
The dragon of the hero's journey is the dragon within that we get to slay.
Man, there's 8 billion people on the planet. You know what I mean? It's the same thing we say. If all the ants had a brain, they could probably kill us. We do have a brain. So there's no excuse now. It's like we can either live in ignorance or do this shit.
I was waiting for that, together. Bro. I was waiting for that.
You know?
We're in this together.
Yeah. So shall I jam a song?
Jam a song, bro. What do you got for us? And guys, thank you. Thank you for coming and being part of this conversation. If you're on any of the iTunes or Stitcher or Spotify, wherever the fun stuff is, leave us a review. Please subscribe. The more people that do that, the more that pushes out to people. And share this with someone that you love. If you're out on Facebook land or wherever you're seeing this, leave us a comment, share it, tag someone. Just get this love energy that we're doing our best to bring here out to as many people as we can. We'd love to hear your feedback. We love reading reviews. And that's me done. Go and check out permacare.org. Support the cause. It's all you, brother.
Cheers, man. So we got an album coming out on the way with our band, Satisvibes. It's a reggae. This is on the album. It's called Mystery Lane. It's about walking down that mysterious lane which we're on at the moment. This is usually reggae, but today is my acoustic version. Take a walk down mystery lane when we stay dry in the rain, and the negatives are there to give you positive gains. Your truth be your pen while you live out your pain. Take it downwards for the brains and your mind. You can change for a better way and a better day. Stay true to your soul and this peace will stay in a peaceful state of mind. Chasing the sunshine so we can live a brighter way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll find this sometime. Within the peace lies a right to faith. On the road to destiny, we break the misery on mystery lane. Mystery lane. You know that we've been fighting it on mystery lane. Mystery lane. Build your community, that's your immunity. A tribe of the vibe, bringing much needed purity. So what's our duty? To liberate your beauty, trees from this plant, and give your spirit some security to travel safely beyond the 10 dimensions. To know you're not alone in a world of no direction. Where do we go? Nobody knows, but it starts with understanding that we need to find a better flow. Yeah, yeah. Towards the sunshine, so we can live a brighter way. We'll find it sometime. Within the peace lies a right to faith. On the road to destiny, we break the misery on mystery lane. Mystery lane. You know that we've been fighting it on mystery lane. Mystery lane. You know we start the fire here on mystery lane. Mystery lane. You know that I'm inspired it on mystery lane. Mystery lane. Yes, man.
Joseph Brown.
Cheers, bro.
Man, thank you so much for today. This has been really fun. Where can people find you?
Nowhere yet.
What, at Facebook right now?
Yeah.
Like people find you on Facebook?
Joseph Brown Music. Satisvibes.
How do you spell that?
SATIS.
Satis?
Vibes.
Vibes.
Satisfying the vibe.
Satisfying the vibe.
You know, and It's been so long since I've sung them, man, because we've had 2 months off not singing.
Yeah,
so I'm
true.
Like, shit. Half of them, I'm like, oh, man, what's the lyrics here? Forgetting the lyrics of my own song. It's crazy, man.
Well, 2 months of not jamming, dude.
Yeah, I know,
I bet
man.
you're looking forward to getting back.
So looking
It's got to
forward
happen
to getting
soon.
back. Yeah.
Any day now.
Yeah, man.
Let's just put on some gigs, man.
Yeah.
I'm up for it. Eh?
I'm down.
Yeah. Still.
I'm down. You know, we play with, 6-piece at the moment, but
Cool.
I want to build up to a 12-piece.
Yeah.
Man, it's music's my weapon, so I'll be coming with that weapon for
Done.
sure. So yeah, Joseph Brown Music. Saddest Vibes is the band name. I've been invited to play at the Hota Markets this Sunday.
Where's that?
The Bundle Markets.
Bundle, okay,
On the
yep.
lake. Same guys that run the Palm Beach Markets.
Oh, cool. Is that on Sunday?
The Sunday, yeah,
Sweet.
this morning. So I'll be there, jamming away, doing my thing, you know.
Sharing
Hopefully
the
I'll remember all the lyrics then.
You'd be right. Let's get you back in here. Let's unite. Let's do this together.
Yep.
Last thing is, if you got any people that would do well in that seat, bring them.
Yeah.
Tell them about what we're doing, and I'll have a conversation. We'll share the good vibes out there. And
I'd love to bring me and my wife.
together, bring my wife. It's got to
Yeah.
get more mics.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
And you probably need a referee. No.
Yeah, right.
Jokes. But
Turks versus
for
the
sure.
Russians.
I think we just need to keep these conversations open.
We do. Yeah,
you know?
totally.
And hold firm.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I just want to leave that with people, just to keep focused in your fight and flight. Focus. Yeah, that's it. That's
Love
it.
it.
That's where I'm at. Cheers, bro.
Love you, brother.
Yeah,
Love
man.
you very much. Thank you.
Till next time.
Love you very much. Thank you. Have fun. I'll give you a big virtual hug right now. I know Joseph's a hugging man too.
Yeah.
So we love you. Thanks. Thanks for Dave. We'll see you soon. Just go and have some fun out there. Hug as many people as you can. Love as many people as you can. Keep the conversation alive. What was it? Stand firm. Stay firm.
Stand firm.
Stand firm.
Stand focused.
Focused.
Don't become the animal.
Nah.
You know,
We know where we're going.
It's the evolution. It's not the revolution.
Yes.
It's the evolution. We need to evolve.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love you. Ciao.